In a world where the marks think they know better than the wrestlers and the bookers, the Fantasy Booking Institute exists to pretty much do exactly that. This is a visit from the FBI.
This is Dan the Dad, and you should listen to Raw and Order or you're grounded.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. Welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Booking Institute, or as I've been calling it weekly, the Weekly Wrestling Game Night, your weekly source for pro wrestling fun and games. I am your host, Detective Mark Smarks, and I'm joined, as always, by my partner in crime fighting, District Attorney Vincent K. What's going on, man? How are you?
Oh, sorry, didn't see you there. That makes two of us.
I was gonna turn my thing and be like, "Oh, hello." How you been? It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been overnight and
Less than 24 hours.
yeah,
All things considered.
yeah. My mouth is a little warm. That's because I just had a Jack Link's beef jerky that was wild heat. Hashtag still not sponsored.
Wild heat.
Would love to have a wrestling podcast with a meat stick sponsor.
Yeah. Although if you're gonna send any of the wild spice ones, you can send it that way. Because this white guy can't take the heat.
No. Bell peppers roast you out.
Ketchup is spicy. Why is it spicy?
Why is it spicy? You ever seen the one where it's kids the first time they use adult toothpaste? Like eyes are bleeding and it's like, why is it spicy?
Yeah, that just reminds me of the Wasabi Baby. You ever see the Wasabi Baby? Wasabi. They give it just a very, very little, and it's help. This is. I've made a horrible mistake. So we one day later, really nothing has changed in the wrestling landscape because our episode yesterday was a day late, so we already talked about what happened on Raw yesterday.
Yeah, but that's okay because this isn't about
the game night. But sometimes we like to start the game nights with at least talking about anything new that's happened. The only news that really has happened is Wade Keller is reporting that the deal that we were talking about last night, the AEW deal, is potentially $1.2 billion or $240 million a year, which is bigger than even I was thinking last night. That's nuts.
That's knuck and futz.
Yes. That's FU money is what that is. And
FUN money.
Yeah. You know, they say money can't buy happiness, but it can buy a jet ski, and it's pretty much the same thing.
I have come to the determination that money, though it may not be able to actually buy happiness, it does buy you the lack of anxiety to maybe achieve some happiness.
Have you ever seen anyone frown on a jet ski? Not possible. Can't happen. You tried.
I have frowned off a jet ski.
Yeah, but on the jet ski, back to smiling. Try all you want. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we are here to play wrestling related games. The rules are going to be simple. We each take turns coming up with a game for the other to play. Sometimes they were fantasy booking. That's the way this show started. But then kind of moved on to a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of everything. And so I do always open things up to my co-hosts to start off, to see if they want to go or if they would like my challenge
They.
to go first.
I'm not a they. I'm still a he.
I'm saying they because I often have two co-hosts.
That's true. But he's not here.
He is not, but I am talking in the generalities of I usually let them choose first because I'm talking about the generalities of the
I went first last week when it was just us.
okay. So I'm assuming that
I'm
you
depressed. I
saying,
miss JLB.
yeah, we were hopeful. Our optimism was misplaced.
Dreams can come true, you know.
Apparently they can't tonight though. But
Brutal.
so I was hoping JLB would be back because I wanted to do uh, an anti-draft, a reverse draft, but I need two more people to do that, or two people other than me, I should say, uh, to do it. So instead, I'm gonna go back to the game I kind of did. I think it was last week where it was just like, who would you? I'm gonna list a name, and I need you to tell me what wrestler, currently active wrestler, I'm going to limit it to currently active for now, would you do this activity with if you had the choice? Right?
Okay. Time
So,
out for a moment. I need some tissues.
ooh,
So sing a little ditty
is
or
it,
something.
is it that, am I that depressing? Are you sad already?
No, I have a runny nose.
We better go catch it.
Ha ha ha!
I don't know what to say. I mean, you really should have taken care of that before we went live on air. It's not like we didn't go live 10 minutes late. You know, I'm just saying he had plenty of chance to deal with this before we went live, and instead he waited until we went live, and that just seems a little silly. But who am I to say? Who am I to talk? I mean, yeah, I'm just the guy here filling time while he goes off and gets Kleenex that he could have had before we went live. You know, that's all. Back with the Kleenex?
I can't hear you because I don't have headphones on yet.
I said,
singing.
are you back with the Kleenex?
Am I back with what?
The Kleenex.
Yeah. But you weren't singing, so
I sure was not. I was mostly just bitching about you.
not being prepared.
Yep, pretty much.
God knows it's allergy season. I don't know why you didn't come with Kleenexes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's fair. It's what I would have said about you had you needed to get up and go get Kleenexes.
Speaking of, it would have been fun. It would have been funny.
This moment of silence brought to you by the library.
You remember that MTV show Silent Library?
No.
Just you said that made me think of it.
Cool.
It was
Cool story, bro.
it was a contest show where the contestants were in a library, and then these pranks were being pulled on them in the library, and they had to stay quiet. And if they laughed, they lost money or something. I can't remember exactly how it went, but if they were able to stay quiet, they earned more money, and if they laughed, they lost money.
The very concept of hearing you describe it has been invigorating.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, so I'm gonna list a wrestler, and you have to tell me what. Not wrestler. I'm gonna list an activity, and you got to tell me what currently active wrestler you would partake that activity with.
Okay.
And we are gonna start off with camping.
Who would I go camping with?
Mhm. And I'm gonna specify that I'm talking camping, like tent and campfire and not like in a RV camping.
Why would that need specification? Do you think I'm so soft that I would have to go RV camping?
No, I'm saying that there are some wrestlers that you might prefer to go camping in a less hardcore camping status. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
It can impact your decision. And so I want to make sure you know that I'm talking real camping, not RVing or whatever else you want to call it.
Okay.
So,
So deliberate, intentional foresting.
mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, how big is the tent?
Um, it is, we will say it is a 4-person size tent, which for a person of your size is really a two
A
person
two-person
tent.
tent. Okay.
So it's cozy.
Cozy.
Hmm. But you're not going to
Well,
like have to share a sleeping bag, you know.
is that an option though?
I said you're not going to have to. Emphasis on have to. You could
I
get to.
I'm going to give you both a male star and a female star, separate from each other. The obvious implication for a cisgendered male such as myself is that I'm going camping, and maybe this is my chance to make my move, and so I obviously have to eliminate married and likely in a relationship people, which does break the heart a little bit. For a fella, I'm gonna go camping with Elias. I mean, the guy is a transient who walks all over the country. He's gonna know how to camp properly. He's gonna be able to play some guitar next to the campfire. I'm gonna go with Elias. For the female star, I think the very obvious choice. I'm gonna make sure that this is appropriate. Don't want to step on anybody's toes. That doesn't help. Hold on.
Holding.
Oh boy, I got some serious lag on computation time here, so we're just going to come right here. Use my cell phone. Pretty commonly asked question when you type "is" in front of this person's first name, it immediately pops up with that question.
Well, is they?
They are not single.
They is not.
No, Tony Storm's not single.
Oh yeah, I could answer that. She's with Juice Robinson.
Disappointed. So, this says Carmella is single and she just got married. So, I don't know. I don't know how good this list is because it also has Charlotte as single, Tennille as single. This is the worst list ever.
Yeah, Tennille used to be dating Caleb with a K, who now wrestles.
Tennille is currently actually dating Riddick Moss.
Is she now actually? Like I said, she used to be dating Caleb with a K, but that was when she was in Impact, so I wasn't sure.
Well, I guess I'm going camping with Gigi Dolan then.
Good enough?
Yeah, I mean, that's not a disappointment for me.
No. You know, I'm sure by now Darby Allin would hold no ill will.
Yeah, I mean, and
Oh, Caleb's now with Chris Statlander. That's right.
a lot of people getting ruled out, you know. Oh well. Good for them. I'm also in a relationship, so I mean, I'm going to make that very, very clear, just in case she watches. I am, in fact, in a relationship. This is all hypothetical.
Mm-hmm.
Must be appropriate.
Unless Gigi Dolan is watching. And then...
Want to go camping?
It's a different story altogether.
No, the other day she was asking which of my co-hosts was which by your real names, not your television or your podcast names. And I said, "You watch my podcast?" Because I often play a creepy perv on here, which is comedic. You should not do that. You should not do that in hopes that you don't miss it. She goes, I understand you're playing a role. Okay. Whew. I mean, it's a role that comes naturally to me, but it's still a role.
Okay.
Okay. Next one.
Camping is done.
Okay.
We did long car trip on the last one.
Uh-huh.
But now we're going sharing an armrest middle seat with on a intercontinental flight.
Akira Tozawa.
And reason?
Same reason you saw him run away from Walter the other night. He's a little dude.
Just watching him.
Whether you can take me or not, there are certain behavior models that are required on an airplane, and you cannot assault me for being large.
The way he noped out cracked me up. I laughed so
That
hard.
was great.
He just walked in and saw, nope. I want none of this. Okay.
It's also, first man eliminated in that particular battle royale.
Next scenario. Stuck in a sauna with.
Not Otis. Poor guy's gonna melt. Again, I'm gonna give a male and a female here. And the female is Mandy Sachs. We'll just leave it at that. You guys can do your own math there. And if I had to be stuck in the sauna with somebody who could be entertaining and genuinely seems like he must actually be a nice guy and is extremely charismatic, I think John Cena.
Okay.
The more I hear stories, yes, there are people who don't like him. And yes, he plays politics. But there's a difference between playing politics like CM Punk and Shawn Michaels and playing politics like Undertaker and John Cena. Respected, liked, nice. We'll talk to you. Have a story with you. I'll take that.
Okay. This is going to be multiples. I need you to create a group of 4. 4 wrestlers currently active that you would choose to be your group in a horror movie.
In a horror movie?
Mm-hmm.
Boy, you threw me a curveball there because one that would have been an obvious choice is not currently active. He just fell off the roster. So Bray Wyatt's out. So they can be the victims or the attackers.
This is going to be your side, your group. Think
trying to survive.
Cabin in the Woods. This is the group that you would be with.
Okay.
And the important thing for you is you would hope to be at least one of the survivors.
Correct. So, I'm going to follow the Scream set of rules as to who dies in what sequence. So I know that there has to be a jock more jockey than me, and so I'm going to take Bobby Lashley because the jock that's more of a jock than I am is Bobby Lashley.
The jockiest of jocks, okay.
Well, not the jockeyest, but yeah, pretty jock. I know that there has to be a less than discriminate woman. So I am going to take Paige or Saraya. Yes, solely because of her leaked video. 110% because of her leaked video. Leaked videos. I know that there has to be a nerdy, overly paranoid kind of breakdown emotionally person, and I think Drew Gulak could pull that one off. And then I need a survivor along with me. So I need somebody gritty to help carry me through, to help me make it to the finish line. Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
Is it really? I mean, I feel terrible using the Scream model of that, but I mean, I have to pick 4, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, the Scream model is also the Cabin in the Woods model. It's also the
Most times. Usually there's 2 women involved. One of them makes it, one of them doesn't.
often,
And the one
but
that doesn't make it is the virgin. Or
the
the one that
virgin
doesn't.
can be male or female.
I am. It's me. I don't have a child. Murderer person.
The murderer knows.
Yeah.
But that being said, off that list, there's no one on your list that would fit that particular. So they're already
No. They're all well into their age of life.
already having to rely on that a bit. Okay. Next scenario. I need you to name who your partner would be on a survivor-like team-based survival show.
Bear Grylls. Oh, it has to be a wrestler.
Currently active wrestlers. Stupid face.
Bo Dallas.
Okay.
He farms in the bayou areas of Florida, in the swampy areas of Florida. I feel like he could pull that off.
Okay.
So, Bo Dallas.
What currently active wrestler would you choose to be your tag team partner in a match against a team of Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman?
God, I was gonna take Braun Strowman because if he could carry Nicholas to the tag titles, he can carry me. Gotta ruin it. Roman Reigns. God, no, Seth has his number. Cody has Seth's number. But Cody doesn't have Braun's number. Brock I can't trust. Yeah, I'll take Roman. I'll acknowledge him as my tribal chief.
Same scenario, but now you're against Roman and Solo Sikoa.
Seth freaking Rollins. Because he has Roman's number. You could also take Cody, who had Roman's number, but there were cheaters involved. I don't think if you have Roman and Solo out there, though, that you have the Usos come in and help them. So, I'm going to go ahead and say... I'm still going to say Seth.
Okay.
Wish Randy was currently available. You know, that guy can hit an RKO from
Proverbially.
out of nowhere.
Okay.
Okay.
Scenario now. This is going to get a little bit into fantasy booking, but you are hired by a local promoter to book an indie show in your area. You get to book the mid card and the main event. 2 matches.
Okay.
Who do you choose? Currently active wrestlers.
Well, obviously, they don't get any WWE because they don't do indie shows.
But we'll open it up to WWE just for the sake of argument. That's fantasy booking.
Who do I book?
Mhm.
Currently active.
Currently active.
Brock Lesnar versus Gina Pete. So, of the redneck states, we live in one of the lower wrestling ranking, professional wrestling ranking following states. I think you would agree with that. I
Mm-hmm.
think the largest promotion in our state is in Omaha. It's Magnum Pro Wrestling, and there's like one person that weighs more than 250 pounds on it. So, we don't get a whole lot of following here. But so I need as big a names as possible. This is why I have Brock Lesnar as one of them. And for the other, I have trying his new event. Oh, does it have to be a professional wrestler? An active professional wrestler?
Currently active.
Damn. Trying his new event, Scott Frost. People would go. We'd sell out Memorial Stadium. um, Brock Lesnar and needs to respect it. I think there's enough people in Nebraska that would watch Brock and Cody. I'd do Brock and Cody. Ideally, I'd do Brock and Kenny Omega, but there's no story written there.
That's the joy of indie shows sometimes, the
You
stories.
don't have to have a story. Brock and Bobby Lashley, one-on-one. This is their rubber match.
Okay.
Brock and Bobby.
Okay.
Bobby actually wrestled collegiately near here in Missouri at Mo Valley, and Brock obviously wrestled collegiately near here in Minnesota. His JUCO wrestled at the in his freshman and sophomore year wrestled at the Omaha Open.
Not sure you could use that word on air.
What, JUCO? Oh, jeez. That's horrible. The mid card event is the harder one. I'm gonna do. Let's give people some real wrestling. So we've got Brock and Bobby as the main event just to get the draw, but we're gonna give people some real in-ring work, and we're gonna give them Seth freaking Rollins and Walter for the IC title.
Okay.
Just something to draw people, you know? Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying, bro?
Okay, next scenario. You have to go down a dark inner city alley at night. What currently active wrestler do you want by your side?
Are they on my side? Do I know for a fact that they're on my
Yes.
side? They are Brock Lesnar. That is legitimately, at least recently, has been legitimately the baddest man on the planet. He may not legitimately be right now. Randy Couture may be able to beat him right now because Randy's not aging like Brock is. There are plenty of MMA fighters who could beat Brock right now, but I know that Brock can handle several people while I deal with one.
Okay. Do one more scenario, and then we'll move on to
I mean,
your
who
challenge.
would you choose? Is there anybody else you would choose?
It's tough. Limiting us to currently active is what makes that tough. Because if you go to like not currently active, then you
Oh, I
can
mean, you
say
can grab Ming and you can grab.
Meng, Haku. You can say grab almost any of the proverbial badasses from
Yeah, I mean, Taker.
Taker.
Taker in his prime.
Heck, Piper in his prime
Piper
was
in his
known
prime.
for. I mean, didn't
And
Piper
go,
get
you,
stabbed?
you can go even older than that. George the Animal Steel. You know?
Fucking Razor Ramon.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally stabbed it.
But keeping it modern, keeping it current. I mean, Brock's. It's hard not to. It's hard to find a fault in Brock. Um, but I.
Dan the B. Severin. You know,
Mhm,
Dan Severn would be a really good option.
yeah.
Ken Shamrock would have been a really good option. Steve Blackman would have been a really good option because there's weapons all over in those alleys. Not like official weapons,
Yeah.
but things that can be used as a weapon.
I think the one thing that I will say on this though is the fact that we don't watch independent wrestling as much shows
Probably
in our
affects us.
choices.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Nick Gage.
Nick Gage. Yeah.
If I'm gonna go down a dark alley and I have any wrestler beside my side, Nick Gage would be high on my list.
Yeah, because he'd laugh when somebody shivved him.
Mm-hmm. So
That's a fair statement. Mox.
Mm-hmm.
But I want a dude who I know is genuinely a badass. Okay.
You're casting the movie about your life, and you have to cast a professional wrestler to play you. I'll even open this one up to
Historical?
historical. Any wrestler.
Well, I mean, my build says King Kong Bundy, but I am not actually a 500-pound man. Who, by the way, would have made a perfect, and I mean a perfect, Spider-Man Nemesis Kingpin. King Kong Bundy would have been a fantastic Kingpin.
Visually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and he had the voice, too. Five. I don't know if he could act for shit. But he had the deeper voice. Anyway. Casted for the movie about me. I can pick whoever I want.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody I want. I mean, I'm a funny guy. Say it. What are you typing in the private chat or something?
Nope.
What are you doing over there?
I'm bringing up a picture.
You have somebody in mind?
I know who I would cast.
For
No,
you
no.
or for me?
Keep in mind.
For me or for you?
For you. We're casting for you based on wanting you to look good, right? It's a movie about you.
I don't know how much I trust you right now. Dave Bautista's who I would want to play me. I don't look like that though, but that's who I'd want to play me. Dave Bautista. Pull it up. Fuck off.
Nah.
That's great.
That's great.
I'm Hillbilly Jim, huh?
I mean, Hillbilly Jim's fucking cut, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And, that long hair.
I mean, he'd cut the hair,
Trim it up.
Trim it up and everything.
Trim it up a little bit, okay. Well, he's gonna trim it up a
that's
little
all. That's all cosmetic. He can change the hair and the beard around to be you.
He also has the rosy, shiny spots on his cheeks right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll allow it. I mean, I did get really excited about planting trees this week, so.
Also, Hillbilly Jim, build at 6'7".
It's a little taller than me, bud.
A little
Quite
taller.
A bit taller than me. 3 inches
Not
taller.
that much taller.
3 inches.
3 inches. Man, that's a whole penis. That's not much.
That's 2 penises. What?
And build weight 320 pounds, which, but that's because he's fucking jacked, man. He's also pointing out that's build height. That's not actual
so he's
height.
probably 6'5", 6'6". Yeah. There's people I know that think that their build heights are like 6 inches taller. I'm like, dude, you are very wrong about that. You could not fake 6'4" from 5'10". You just can't do it.
You couldn't.
Triple H could not be 5'10" and be called 6'4".
But
too many audience members will know. But Undertaker was billed as 7 foot at one point, and dude doesn't break 6'9".
Yeah,
not a chance.
They've billed Braun Strowman as 7 foot, and he's legitimately 6'8".
Yeah.
So I mean, that 7 foot, that's a 4-inch.
Yeah.
Difference there.
I don't think you can go over 4 inches.
That's like 2 penises.
And you have to be very tall to get the extra multiple inches.
In a total aside, based on my penis joke, I have to share a penis joke comment that I made on a TikTok the other day that I think was grossly overlooked because I think it was hilarious and I don't think anyone else got it. But a person posted a TikTok and it was guys, for every 35 pounds of weight you lose, you get an extra inch on your. And I'm like, listen, lady, I'm not about to lose 140 pounds just to be average. Thank you very much.
She's going, huh? Here's the deal. There's no way that's accurate. Like, you couldn't lose 140 pounds and get 4 inches longer. It's not how that works.
It's not how any of it works, right? It's a diminishing returns thing. I'm sure
it looks.
I'm sure if you lose 35 pounds, especially if you lose it in the waist region, right? You probably get an extra visual inch, right?
Yeah.
But it's diminishing returns. You lose another 35 pounds, you're not going to get another inch worth. Because eventually you're going to run out of
pounds to lose.
Pounds that you run out of room down there. Right?
You're trying to imply to me that King Kong Bundy could have a.
Yeah, how many pounds could he have? Yokozuna? Right?
Yeah, I mean, that dude was 600 pounds build.
Yep.
I mean, there were times where he was over 700 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just take his 550 that that most of his career probably was, and we'll knock 350 pounds off. We'll take him down to we'll knock 250 pounds off. We'll take him down to 300 pounds. 250 pounds is, what is that, 8 inches?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the guy's going to have a man hammer just...
Yeah. And that's not including any that he already had, right?
Yeah,
that's
if he's
that's
working with
new.
negative to
Yeah.
start, because it's all tucked in, and he's working with -1, that's still a man hammer. 7 inches is larger than average.
That's why I thought that joke. I just don't think that joke got the appreciation it deserved.
No, yeah, I mean, you were talking 4 inches there.
Yeah. I'm not about to lose 140 pounds just to be average. Thank you very much.
Very funny.
Anyways. Okay, time for your...
Okay. Un momento, por favor.
1 minute.
Memento is moment. Say it with me now. Moment.
Minute.
Fuck you.
Babe in the loo.
What's happening, brother?
In the loo.
Ooh, I'm having trouble hearing you on the other one. Uh-oh.
Well, I'm not having trouble hearing you. Loody loody loo. Loo loo loo. £140 just to be average. Can you hear me now?
There we go. Yes, I can hear you now. Good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Babe in the loo.
Babe in the loo. So there's a game we haven't played in a little while that I think is very fitting before we go to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Because Jeddah, Saudi Arabia is all about money. And before we go to, I don't know, the United Kingdom, because the United Kingdom deal is all about money.
Money, 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 money.
And what's the best thing you can do to make money?
Sell your body on a street corner?
For some people, sure.
I mean, that's what I do.
For me, probably not. So we're going to go back and forth between those countries.
Okay.
And we're going to do product placement in those countries.
Okay.
So, for example, pork loin is probably a bad idea in Saudi Arabia.
You are correct, sir.
And opiates are probably a bad idea in the United Kingdom.
You are probably correct there as well.
But in Saudi Arabia, that's where they grow poppy. So
allegedly.
What do you mean allegedly? They actually grow poppy seed in Saudi Arabia and in Afghanistan.
Allegedly. Dude, I ain't trying to get killed right now. That's all I'm
Okay. Okay, fair enough.
saying.
So the first one we're going to use is formerly known as British Petroleum. So we're having both countries involved. But instead, we're going to go with Beyond Petroleum, the new BP.
The new BP.
Oh, and by the way, you have to use the company. Now, this one you get to use either company, but you have to use the company going to that country.
So they have to be currently active. That's the
Yeah.
okay.
Well, they have to have worked for that company. Be capable of going somewhere for that company. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean that still kills my first idea. So,
Well, what was your first idea? Because this one's kind of an open test one.
well,
Test the water.
the my first idea is no longer active, and I don't think has been for a long time.
Who would it have been?
And also, as far as
Were
I
you going to
know,
use somebody from British Columbia who was claimed to be from Saudi Arabia?
no.
Oh, okay. Because you actually had that in Muhammad Hassan.
Yeah, no. This person also, as far as I know, never wrestled for any of the companies currently active. He would have connection with one of the
WWE.
currently active companies because he worked for a company that is now acquired by him. But the person I was gonna do was Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker, BP, Buddy Parker.
Oh, okay.
But I can't because
Fair enough.
So, BP. Well, I think this one speaks for itself pretty easily, and that is JBL.
Ah, big money. Yes, investment. I like it. Okay, we're gonna go with British car maker Aston Martin, which is no longer British, but was at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Who is your luxury suit from AEW? This also is you saying who would be the next AEW James Bond. I mean, realistically.
This is tough. Because, I know where my brain wants to go, but it's actually not a good choice for this, frankly.
Okay.
So I've got to try to find one that's a good choice for this. Okay. My actual choice is Swerve Strickland.
Okay.
Mogul Industries, Swerve Strickland.
Yes, makes sense.
My choice that my brain wants to do that would not be the best choice, but my brain says, come on, is MJF.
Yeah, but he's better than that, and you know it.
Well, and frankly, Aston Martin would be like, we want to make our cars look cool, not douchey.
All right.
So, okay.
Saudi Arabia is really only known for one major export, so I'm going to have to potentially look up some companies that are based out of there. That export being oil, obviously. But there is another export, and I'm going to go with legal opiates. In other words, they're working for the pharmaceutical industry in the opiate category. WWE. Maybe talking about how safe they are. They're not safe, by the way. Highly addictive.
I mean, they are safe in terms of if they are
Proper usage.
prescribed for proper usage, they can be safe.
Yes, that's why I said legal. I didn't want to get into the
but they are not
black tar
safe.
heroin guy.
They are not safe in improper usage.
Correct.
And that's where the problem comes.
But you do have WWE to your advantage.
Oh yeah, because WWE is so good on the proper usage of stuff.
That's why I said that.
Would I be out of line to say Jimmy Uso? I probably would be.
I was going with somebody who was currently injured. I was going to go with Big E because he had such a severe neck injury. But okay, yep. Matt Riddle.
that would be a good one too.
All right, we're going to go back to Britain, and we're going to go with Earl Grey tea. Earl Grey tea. This is a black tea served normally hot as a breakfast dish. It's a very strong tea.
Give me 1 second.
Pfizer hydrocodone. This the one I count on to keep my pain away. I'm sorry, it's fucking terrible. So fucking wet bad.
I don't know if I want to do this one because this is okay. I'm going to put this one on the back burner. I'm going to put this one on emergency if I can't come up with another option. Okay. Earl Grey tea. Well, you've got Kip Sabian on the roster, who's British, so
You're gonna run out of those though.
I am.
Well, maybe not. I mean, there's a lot of women. There's 3 I can think of quickly. I think Darby'd be hilarious. What gets me up and going in the morning? Earl Grey tea. Then he just sips it.
You know, along those lines, I think I got my answer.
Okay.
It's along those lines though. But it's not Darby.
Okay.
It's Moxley.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Very similar. What gets me up and going in the morning? He gets hit in the back with a light tube. Earl Grey tea.
Some days I need just a little bit of extra pick me up before my match. That's why I turn to Earl Grey.
All right. Going back to Saudi Arabia, we're going to go with kosher goat meat. Not the same type of kosher that Jewish has, but it is usually under the same product line. Goat meat. I can't think of anybody like if it was AEW, that's easy because Miro is entirely keto, so he eats almost nothing but meat.
Yeah, but no, the better option if it was AEW would be Chris Jericho because he's the GOAT.
Ooh, I like that. Yep, but it's not.
But it's
AEW.
not AEW, so can't do that. Who was it that recently was in WWE that was pushing the boat best of all time?
I don't remember that.
Someone in WWE. Who was that? Oh, Natalia. Natalia recently had the gimmick where she was the boat, the best of all time. You know, playing off the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
Yeah.
Concept, the boat. So goat meat for the boat.
Goat for the boat.
I think that's where I have to go.
Okay. Back to Britain. Dental prosthetics. Dental prosthetics.
Well, that one's simple. It's a gimme.
Okay.
It's a DMD one right there.
Oh, absolutely. I love that. Give me a moment. Apparently, Saudi Arabia is very well known for some of its precious metals. So, precious metals. Actually, I had to look that up.
Precious metals. Precious metal. My precious. My precious. Sorry. I got a little thrown off. Austin Theory. Because I think his gimmick is like one step away from wearing gold chains around his neck, and I think that's where I go.
Austin Theory. Got it.
Mhm.
Back to Great Britain. We're going to go with Reebok. Shoe company originated out of Great Britain. Again, not headquartered there anymore. I believe that. I think Reebok was the one that was based out of Great Britain, if I remember correctly.
Reebok was founded in Bolton, England.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's now headquartered in Boston.
Yeah, I knew that it was headquartered in the U.S. now, but so much of that stuff does move to the U.S. for our consumerist atmosphere and very low taxation rates.
Your cousin from Boston. Those commercials crack me up. Reebok. I feel like this would be another opening for an USO. Maybe this one would be J.
Well, wasn't a big thing for them early on that they wore Air Force Ones would be the ones?
Possibly. Which those are Nikes, so that ruins this. But
yeah, that's okay. I mean, they always got cool kicks.
But I just think, yeah, I think that works.
Okay. One of the world's biggest plastics suppliers, obviously, plastics are a petro product, is BASF, who does we don't make the products you buy, we make the products you buy better, is their slogan. So I'm going to assume that there's definitely some involvement with Saudi Arabia. Oh, wait. No, you just did Reeboks was Great Britain, so that had to be AEW.
Oh, you're right. Well, then that's the Young Bucks, so it's the easy pivot.
Pivot.
Okay. Pivot.
So then BASF. Plastics. Not the only product they produce, I know.
Passive.
These are harder than American products.
They are.
But American products typically are about consumerism.
It's also just inherently more limiting. And then I want to make sure you understand I'm not complaining. It's inherently more limiting that I'm limited to one
faction per country, yes.
Yeah. So I feel like Maximum Male Models is where this one goes.
For plastics?
Yeah.
Plastic surgery is where you're going here?
I wasn't exactly certain where I was going, but just like my brain says you go to Maximum Male Models for this one. So that's where I'm going. I'm following my brain.
Fair enough. We're going to head back to Great Britain, and we're going to go with that wonderful thing that goes with tea, and that's crumpets. Or if it's Dumb and Dumber, strumpets.
Throw another shrimp on the barbie.
Entree? Well then, good eye, mate. That movie doesn't get enough credit. It only gets credit from people who can appreciate dumb humor.
If you can't appreciate that humor, you can't appreciate me. I suggest you let that ruminate. Um, tea and crumpets. It's got to be AEW. I feel like you can put. I feel like you could put Jamie Hayter and Soraya in this ad, and base it entirely off of a joke, based around tea and strumpets, where like Paige is having her tea and crumpets, and Jamie Hayter makes a joke about. No, it's supposed to be tea and crumpets, not tea and strumpets.
They just choose to do Dumb and Dumber women's version.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay with that.
Ed Zachary.
I'm changing locations again. I'm back. Whoa. I had to close. Okay, I already closed you. Okay. I just want to point out that the main exports of Saudi Arabia are petroleum based vehicles and then pharmaceuticals.
Like, hey, just feel lucky we didn't just also do petroleum pharmaceuticals.
I mean, theoretically, some of those encasings. Bum ba bum.
You know what annoys me? I buy these plastic boxes to put the cards in, and then these plastic sleeves to put the good cards in. And the plastic sleeves are just a hair too long for the plastic boxes. It's frustrating. Anywho's. Any hoozles.
One of their top exports is airline materials. So I'm guessing shell materials. So we're going to go with Boeing.
Ricochet.
He flies. I get it. I get it. to Britain, don't we? Theirs is also very similar to Saudi Arabia. But we're going to go with jewelry. In specific, I believe Rolex is from England. Geneva. Yep, Geneva. Well, that's Switzerland. Damn it.
I was going to say, when did Geneva get into the UK?
Okay, we're going to go with the... We're going to go with one more food product. Cadbury. That's the last one for Britain.
I feel like the real answer is Otis. But since I used Maxim male models and he's sort of a part of that now, I feel like I need a different real answer. So give me a second. Give me a second. My computer's loading something. Oh, wait. No, never mind. Can't do this. But I can do it. Because since we're doing AEW and it's Cadbury's, doesn't it have to be the bunny?
Oh my god, that's fantastic. That's great.
Now, give me 1 second while this loads, and I will show you what I was going to do before I remembered that it had to be AEW. If it's going to load. Okay, maybe it's not. Anyways, there we go. This is what I was going to do if I could have done WWE.
Okay. Oh, Lord.
What do I close this? There's the X. The Easter Bunny has a legitimate WWE profile.
That's hilarious. The bunny before the bunny was the bunny.
Mm-hmm. It goes all the way back to 2014. But, anyways. But I couldn't do that because that's WWE.
Yep.
And, anyways, I think we're petering out.
Oh, just one more.
Okay.
Kabasa, which is the national dish of Saudi Arabia. Just to give you an idea, it is basically gumbo. Or or jambalaya. Sorry, basically jambalaya. It is uh, broth or stock, meat stock, boiled rice with the meat in it, and spices. It's basically jambalaya, but with Saudi flavors.
Yeah, I feel like both Saudi Arabians and Cajuns would get angry at hearing you describe it that way.
Dude, they're talking about shrimp in it, and
I I feel like both sides you'd be angering both. It's nothing like jambalaya, says the Saudi Arabian guy, and the Cajun guy goes, man, oh man, that ain't nothing about like jambalaya, man. You don't know, no.
it don't taste like no jambalaya. Really right now today.
They don't know nothing about that no jambalaya, man. Anyways,
The ingredients are very similar, though.
yeah, I
Jambalaya
mean,
often has pork, though.
yeah. Well, jambalaya usually uses andouille sausage.
Yes. But it's not required to have andouille
No, you
sausage.
can have chicken jambalaya. You can have crayfish jambalaya. You can have shrimp jambalaya. Mhm. Sorry, now I'm thinking about jambalaya.
Which is one of the happier foods on the planet.
Um, I feel like the serious answer to this is Mansoor. Um, but since he's part of Maximum Male Models, I've already used him. So, hmm. Do I go with Riddle and have the joke be about how when he gets the munchies, he really needs something
Oh my
filling
god.
and tasty? I think that's the way I go.
Riddle.
Yep. I think that's how I do it.
Fair enough. This is amazing. I'm so hungry.
But anyways, I think we're petering out. I'm tired. I
Yes,
know you're
I
tired.
am.
So we're gonna go ahead and wrap things up for this episode of the wrestling game night. Hopefully next week we've got JLB back so I can do my anti-draft and we can have lots of fun with that. But on that note, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to this podcast, however you listen to it or view it. If you're watching it on twitch.tv/Raw and Order WBU, that's the best way to do it. Make sure to give us a subscribe. If you've got Amazon Prime, you can do that for absolutely free. It helps us out more than you know. You can also support us through all sorts of other ways, like sending us tips or bits or paying for a subscription or just sharing it with your friends. That's the easiest way, and it's also free. Just share it with your friends. Say, hey, you should watch this. Um, but you can follow me on any of the social media at Raw and Order WBU, except for Facebook, where it's at Passant Podcast because I don't know reasons. You can follow JOB at the stuff that's going to be in the doobly doos. You can follow DA Fabe at
DA Vincent Kayfabe right there. There.
right there.
Right there. Only on Twitter.
Yep. Until Twitter goes away.
Why is Twitter disappearing?
Um. So total tangent
Side
here.
note, yeah.
Elon has been making a lot of questionable decisions on Twitter. That's another thing altogether. He announced this week that he is stepping down as CEO and he's
Yes, I
replacing
knew that.
himself with a female CEO, who it turns out to have been the NBC Universal marketing director, who was supposed to be at the upfronts yesterday and wasn't because once it came out that she was going to be CEO of Twitter, they basically said, get out of here. Anyways, But a lot of people are speculating that this is just another example of what's been termed over the years the glass cliff. Okay, it's a play on the glass ceiling concept, where women have a certain level that they can get up to, and they can't break through that glass ceiling to upper management. The glass cliff is kind of the inverse of that. It's a trend that happens a lot, especially in tech companies, um, where uh, a male CEO makes a whole bunch of questionable decisions about the future of the company, and then sees the writing on the wall that the company is failing, and quickly ducks out of there and appoints a female CEO as his successor, who then uh, is doomed from the start on a sinking ship, and then takes all of the blame for the inevitable downfall of it because she was the one in charge when it finally went under. Um, and the male CEO gets away, uh basically, I use the phrase Scots free on this, without taking all of the heat for it going under, even though it was their decisions that set it up for going under. And a lot of people speculate that Elon Musk sees the writing on the wall that Twitter is losing millions of dollars a day. It's losing more and more ad revenue all the time. Advertisers have flocked away from it, ever since he ended the verification, uh, legacy verification process, tried to turn it into a paid thing that allowed almost anyone to be verified, as long as they had $8 in their bank account, uh, but did nothing to verify the actual identity of the person, which has led a lot of top companies to abandon Twitter, because anyone can pay $8 and set up a Twitter account that says the name of this company and then tweet out things that could defame that company, or hurt the stock of that company. We saw that with Eli Lilly, the drug manufacturing company. When they first introduced the pay for Twitter, Twitter Blue, pay for verification, someone set up a fake Eli Lilly account, and then tweeted out that Eli Lilly was going to make the price of insulin free from now on, which caused the Eli Lilly stock to plummet out the floor. Um, and so there's been a lot of downward trending things on Twitter. A lot of celebrities abandoned Twitter when their verification got taken away. So much so that Elon Musk started personally paying for verification for a lot of celebrities, but then that opened them up for an FCC investigation because that's false endorsement, because it shows that like they paid for it, which can be construed as this celebrity is endorsing this product because they're actually paying for it even though they weren't. Um, and so he made a lot of really poor decisions, and behind the scenes reports have it that things are not good at Twitter. They also are, last I heard, 6 months behind on the rent for their building because he just decided to stop paying for rent for the building. Um, and getting them out is a whole process. He's been encouraging his employees to sleep at the company because they're so understaffed. He cut so many of the engineers out that the few engineers that are left are working basically around the clock to try to just keep the place running. Um, and so this appointing of the female CEO is seen by most as a symbol that things are going down at Twitter, and
It certainly is
getting
not
out.
his niche,
No,
regardless of
I
where
am
where anybody's at on their love or disdain
I
of,
am
of Elon. That is not what he's done in
Yeah.
the past.
Uh,
He's not a tech mogul at all.
well, he's a guy who comes in and buys his way into a company and then takes credit for all the good things that the people under them do, and then rolls on. The problem is he tried to be. I think frankly he tried to be too hands on at Twitter. If he'd have just bought them and said, "I'll be the CEO, but then I'll surround myself with a bunch of people who know what the fuck they're doing," it would have been one thing altogether. Uh, but not only has he been very hands on with it, he also um, has has been very openly uh, retweeting and posting very politically divisive posts, including sharing tweets from known anti Semites and white supremacists, um, spreading conspiracy theories that are considered anti Semitic. All of these things are ruining the, I hate to use the phrase, good name of Twitter, because it's not like Twitter had a great reputation beforehand. But it's making it very advertiser unfriendly, right? If you're, to pick a name, if you're Serta Mattress Company and you're trying to decide where you want to put your advertising money, or Casper, young upstart mattress company that's wanting to make a big deal in the thing, and you're deciding where to put your money, and you look at Twitter, and then you look at TikTok, or Facebook, um, or instead going to YouTube and advertising on YouTube videos. Twitter's not high on the list anymore because it's too politically hot. Um, and this is not specifically saying one side or the other. It's just divisive, and advertisers don't like divisive. Um, they like to try to reach as many people as possible and not alienate large segments of people. Um, and so, I'm not saying it's going to just suddenly disappear overnight, sort of a thing, but I'm saying that I fully expect in the next few months under this new CEO that there will be a lot of austerity measures announced, a lot of backtracking on some of his edicts, saying, "Oh, we're going to do this now. We're going to do this now instead. We're going to bring back legacy verified." Uh, so that celebrities can get verified without paying the $8 a month. Um, because here's the thing: part of why Twitter got to be as big as it was is because the normal people like you and I could virtually hang out with celebrities, right?
Mm-hmm.
Follow our favorite celebrities, see them post something and comment on it, and maybe to use the phrase notice me senpai, sort of a thing. Oh my goodness, the actor that I really liked my tweet. The actor that I really liked replied to my tweet, my reply on his or whatever. um and when you got rid of the legacy verified, a lot of actors said it's not worth it to me, I'm out. And once those actors left, then their fans don't have a reason to be there anymore. Um, and that's happened a lot recently. And so I suspect we're going to see a lot of her trying to reverse a lot of his decisions. But once the Titanic hit the iceberg, no amount of reversing course changes the final outcome. And I feel
Yeah,
like
the question is, has the shark not jumped?
I feel like he would not be stepping down if he did not see the writing on the wall that they had already hit the iceberg and that nothing he could do would fix it. So now it's time to let someone else take the fall. Because
Well,
importantly,
the important thing to remember is he's going to take the fall if there's a fall to be taken, because at the end of the day, That's his money that he's going to lose a lot of.
Well, yes and no. He leveraged it, and
That's true.
so
And there were
so
other investors involved.
there were other investors who were going to lose money. Also, the way that he bought it, there's the way that billionaires buy anything, they're protected by bankruptcy rules. They can bankrupt the company and it not affect their individual fortunes, right? It's how Donald Trump can still claim to be a multi-millionaire after 6 bankruptcies, because they were all corporate bankruptcies for subsidiaries of
He
Trump.
also was in real estate and
Well,
managed to cheat the homestead laws of certain
the,
states,
there's
and
that.
Atlantic City in
Yep.
particular.
There's that. But the biggest thing is all of his bankruptcies were based on corporate bankruptcies, not personal. So none of it attacked his personal money. It all attacked just the corporate. And here's the deal, right? When you filed for bankruptcy for a corporation, it's because the corporation doesn't have any money left, right? So you
Yeah.
file for this bankruptcy, and they take what little money you have left in the corporation, but your personal money is safe. And that's the same thing that's going to happen with Twitter. But like I say, I mean, this is aside from the failing part, this is par for the course for Elon. Elon's whole history has been not creating anything himself, but uh, going in and taking over a company and then taking credit for all the good stuff that they did. It's what happened with X.com that became PayPal. Um, it's what happened with Tesla. He didn't create Tesla. Tesla was a company that was up and running and making product, and he came in and bought controlling shares in it, and then sued the founders.
I lost you, I think.
I can still hear you, but you must have lost me. You're stuck, yeah.
There I am.
But he sued the founders of Tesla to force them to put him on the list of founders, even though he wasn't even there at the time for founding Tesla. It's basically the same thing he did with SpaceX, right? He takes credit for SpaceX success, but he has little to no involvement in day-to-day operations of SpaceX or Tesla, really, right? But he takes credit for them, so it's what he does. And then if they fail, he puts someone else up
Froze
to
again.
take the fall. So, but while he's frozen, we'll go ahead and just end this. Make sure to head to our merch store. Links are in the doobly doos for
He
the
hears
merch
us talking
stores.
about him.
And I hear you talking about me. I'm just finishing things up here. Um, we will be back in a few days this weekend to talk professional wrestling and the go home week for AEW Double or Nothing. But until then, thank you all for joining us. We will see you soon.